do with an open silent prayer. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Basson?
Here.
Weigel?
Here.
Grattan?
Here.
Benvenuto?
Here.
Stats?
Here.
Keaveney?
Here.
Nair?
Here.
DeGroot? Riley?
Present.
Parika?
Here.
Craig?
Here.
Bear?
Here.
Ligonia?
Here.
Sterling?
Here.
Cross? Thurston?
Here.
Hughes?
Here.
Scalera?
Here.
Guzzi?
Here.
Benson?
Here.
Morrell?
Here.
Knott?
Here.
Tyree? $31.54 present, $3.81 absent.
Thank you
We have a
very
quorum.
much. We need a motion to pay the bills, accept the treasurer's report, and file the minutes within the clerk's office.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. There's one proclamation and recognition, and I said I would read it. And this is a certificate of recognition to a lady who's the mother-in-law of Kevin McDonald and the mother of Miriam McDonald, and the gentleman beside her who is his brother, who is her brother, yes. This lady isn't quite old enough to remember the last time we fixed up the courthouse, but she's just 7 years shy of it. She turned 100, was it last week or 100 last week, okay. This certificate of recognition is presented to Helen Ciemba. The certificate is presented to Helen Skypa Ciemba in recognition of your 100 years of life. Congratulations on this significant achievement. Whereas Helen Skypa was born on November 1st, 1914 in Hudson, New York. And whereas Helen's parents, Bernice and Peter Skypa, came to the United States in the early 1900s from Poland. And whereas Helen married Edward Ciemba in 1946 and had 2 children, 3 grandchildren, and 6 great-grandchildren. And whereas Helen is an excellent cook and her Polish foods were a favorite to many, on behalf of the Columbia County Board of Supervisors, the certificate of recognition is hereby presented to Helen Ciemba, given under my hand and the privy seal of the Columbia County Board of Supervisors in the County Office Building in Hudson, New York, this 12th day of November in the year of our Lord 2014. I'd like to present this to Mrs. McDonald. Most of you know Mary Ann worked for the county for a number of years, retired. She retired from the county. Here you go. Okay. Well.
The Ziembas were neighbors of mine, and I grew up, I was born and raised on State Street, and Miss Ziemba helped raise me as a child along with the rest of the community, so just a little bit of gratitude there.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, moving along, I request the clerk to read the resolutions.
Okay. Resolution 375 of 2014 by Supervisor Parika, 376 by Supervisor Parika, 377 by Supervisor Scalera, 378 by Supervisor Thurston, 379 by Supervisor Thurston, 380 by Supervisor Sterling, 381 by Supervisor Scalera, 382 by Supervisor Stats, 383 by Supervisor Stats, 384 by Supervisor Stats.
Supervisor Stats.
Chairman, offer this resolution for adoption.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Resolution 385 of 2014 by Supervisor Riley, 386 by Supervisor Sterling, 387 by Supervisor Keaveney, 388 by Supervisor Nair, 389 by Supervisor Parika, 390 by Supervisor Riley, 391 by Supervisor Benson, 392 by Supervisor Keaveney, 393 by Supervisor Sterling, 394 by Supervisor Benson.
Supervisor Benson.
Mr. Chairman, I offer these resolutions for adoption.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Resolution 395 by Supervisor Guzzi, 396 by Supervisor Nair, 397 by Supervisor Guzzi, 398 by Supervisor Riley, 399 by Supervisor Benvenuto, 400 by Supervisor Guzzi, 401 by Supervisor Sterling, 402 by Supervisor Benvenuto, 403 by Supervisor Keaveney, 404 by Supervisor Parika.
Supervisor Parika.
Mr. Chairman, I offer these resolutions for adoption.
Second the motion.
All in favor? Yes, sure.
Resolution 396, I'd just like to go on record of opposing for the fact that I don't believe that parcel should have been pulled out of bid prior to bid. Or we could have received more money on that bid. I than the person wanted to wait until the process of everybody else awarded to that individual. So I'd like to support no on that one. And resolution number 399, sale Aqualomic. I certainly voted against this in 2008. I have a copy of the resolution here. When the 2 acres were going to be considered to be given to the town of Fallbrook, which is county-owned property now. We went into this agreement back in 2008, pursuing the interest of intermunicipal agreements and to offset costs for towns and counties to do services. Since we're no longer going to occupy that parcel and we're selling it, I don't see any benefit to having this land given to the town of Florida when it's taxpayer dollars, county taxpayer dollars to use to purchase it. So there's obviously no intermunicipal agreement between the county anymore. It's not going to be because we're selling to a private individual. There's certainly no benefit for the county taxpayer dollars to be spent and given to another town. It's just taxpayer dollars from the entire county being spent, and it certainly shouldn't go back to the county. So I'll vote no on that one.
Thank you very much.
Chairman,
Yes.
in reference to Resolution 399, I've had a friendship in and out of politics with a high bidder for over 20 years, and honestly hope that it works out. But with that said, I wish to abstain on this.
So noted. Thank you very much. You'll make a note of that. The clerk will make a note of that.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, there was a motion made and seconded. We heard some comments here. Did we vote on this? I kind of got lost here. No, okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. And no Supervisor Scalera recused himself. Okay,
Resolution 405 of 2014 by Supervisor Basson. Resolution 406 of 2014 by Supervisor Riley.
if we, Supervisor Riley, we're just going to vote on these 2 resolutions.
Mr. Chairman, reflecting the hard work of the committee members, I offer these 2 resolutions for approval.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Now, I'm going to ask the controller, I heard that there were a couple questions on the following resolutions. So if Mr. Kaffner, you can come up here and explain to the entire board exactly what we're doing here.
Thank you. We have 5 bonding resolutions in front of you tonight. The first one, Resolution 404, is to correct a resolution that was passed in September 13 to correctly allocate the funds that were borrowed at that time between the Highway Department and our 911 emergency management system. Resolutions 408, 409, 410, and 411 are resolutions to adopt our capital budget that was adopted last year in the 2014 budget for county equipment in the highway and in our sewer solid waste department for $750,000. Resolution 409 is for our bridge force account for bridge work that's been done for $2,875,000. Resolution 410 is $205,000 that was budgeted for DSS, $60,000 for a new phone system, and the remainder balance will go into architect fees on rehabbing some of the facilities within DSS. And the last resolution for $1 million was the continuation of $1 million of additional funds being put towards our highway department paved roads. The total amount of this bond resolution will be for $4,250,000. And again, this has been adopted by the Board of Supervisors in our 2014 budget. This is a resolution that will allow us to go out and actually do the sale of vans probably early in 2015 when our other bond van resolutions or obligations are up and new. And at that time, we'll go out for financing on that. So that's what this is for. Questions?
If there's no questions, then we'll move right along with it. Now we can have to vote on it. Okay, we're going to have to vote on each of these 5 resolutions. I'm sorry, 4 resolutions individually. So I'd ask the clerk to start with 408, 214, and we have to vote on a roll call.
It's actually Resolution 407 I'm going to start.
Oh, sorry, I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. Basson?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Grattan?
Yes.
Benvenuto?
Yes.
Stats?
Yes.
Keaveney?
Yes.
Nair?
Yes.
Riley?
Yes.
DeGroot? Parika?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Ligonia?
Yes.
Sterling?
Yes.
Cross? Thurston?
Yes.
Hughes?
Yes?
Scalera?
Yes.
Guzzi?
Yes.
Benson?
Yes.
Morel?
Yes.
Knott?
Yes.
Tyree? We have 3479 ayes and 0 nays.
Okay, the resolution passes then. Moving on to resolution 408, 214, is there a motion on that?
I'll move it, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second? Make a second. All in favor? Okay, we're going to have to do a roll call vote, so would you start at the top again?
Basson?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Grattan?
Yes.
Benvenuto?
Yes.
Stats?
Yes.
Keaveney?
Yes.
Nair?
Yes.
DeGroot? Riley?
Yes.
Parika?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Ligonia?
Yes.
Sterling?
Yes.
Cross? Thurston?
Yes.
Hughes?
Yes?
Scalera?
Yes.
Guzzi?
Yes.
Benson?
Yes.
Morel?
Yes.
Knott?
Yes.
Tyree? Again, the count is 3479 for ayes and 0 nays.
The resolution passes. Moving along to resolution 409, 2014, is there a motion on that?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move that. Second motion.
Okay, we'll start again.
Basson?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Grattan?
Yes.
Benvenuto?
Yes.
Stats?
Yes.
Keaveney?
Yes.
Nair?
Yes.
DeGroot? Riley?
Yes.
Parika?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Ligonia?
Yes.
Sterling?
Yes.
Cross? Thurston?
Yes.
Hughes?
Yes?
Scalera?
Yes.
Guzzi?
Yes.
Benson?
Yes.
Morel?
Yes.
Knott?
Yes.
Tyree? Again, the count is 3479 ayes.
Okay, moving along to the next resolution, is there a motion on that?
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay,
Basson?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Grattan?
yes.
Benvenuto?
Yes.
Stats?
Yes.
Keaveney?
Yes.
Nair?
Yes.
DeGroot? Riley?
Yes.
Parika?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Ligonia?
Yes.
Sterling?
Yes.
Cross? Thurston?
Yes.
Hughes?
Yes?
Scalera?
Yes.
Guzzi?
Yes.
Benson?
Yes.
Morel?
Yes.
Knott?
Yes.
Tyree? 3479 ayes, 0 nays.
Okay, and the last, very last resolution. Is there a motion on that?
Motion.
Second.
Okay,
Basson?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Bratton?
yes.
Benvenuto?
Yes.
Stats?
Yes.
Keaveney?
Yes.
Nair?
Yes.
DeGroot? Riley?
Yes.
Parika?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Ligonia?
Yes.
Sterling?
Yes.
Cross? Thurston?
Yes.
Hughes?
Yes.
Scalera?
Yes.
Guzzi? Benson?
Yes.
Morel?
Yes.
Knott?
Yes.
Tyree? 3479 ayes, 0 nays.
The resolution passes then. Okay,
Okay. Resolution 412 of 2014 by Supervisor Riley. 413 by Supervisor Riley. 414 by Supervisor Basson.
Supervisor Basson.
Mr. Chairman, I present these resolutions for adoption.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Yes.
And resolution number 412, leaving the Public Works Department position vacant. Certainly I object to that. I feel that that's a wise move. There's certain things that we do need somebody in that position to do that our department heads can't do. I've not got the answer to who's going to do those pieces, how much it's going to cost to outsource it. And we certainly aren't abolishing the position at this point either, which I'd like to see if we're going to leave this position vacant for the plan of doing. So for all those reasons, I certainly vote against this.
Yes. So noted. Did anybody else have any other comments? Yes, Supervisor.
Chairman, I'd also like to vote no on that same resolution. I'm just now hearing about this, and I don't understand why we're doing this.
Is there any other comments on
I
it?
just have a quick question,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman. Are we, I know we're not at budget times yet, but are we leaving this position as a budgeted position in the event this doesn't work out?
Yes, it was left as a budget position. Is there anything, any other comments on that? Okay. Does any of the supervisors have any other business to bring before the board? Supervisor Hughes.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I wanted to talk a little bit about, I know this is our favorite subject, but CDC Bloomberg and the particular deal. I think looking at this deal, obviously it's in the hands of the town of Canton, which I'm not trying to probe into. But as far as this deal goes in our relationship, I think it was a total mishandling. As far as the informative end, to us, the supervisors, to the general public, and I think the miscommunications that took place with this whole deal not only complicated it for Ginsburg's, but it complicated it for the public and also for CDC, the agencies handling this deal. And it seems as though that it's really workable for all of us here. And I, for one, I can't speak for everyone, but I, for one, would love to see Ginsburg stay in this county. But I think that there's some, some things that needed to be communicated that weren't communicated to the general public. And hopefully, all those things are taken a look at, and they remain here in this county. But more to that point is, there will be deals like this in the future. And I want to know that we, as the Board of Supervisors, we have people in that agency who are supposed to be working for us. Namely, one, Mr. K. And I would like to think that in the future, so that we don't have these miscommunications going on within the public, that when we have situations like this arise, that Mr. Flood or whomever is in the position, that will come back here to us on the Board of Supervisors early on in that process and voice those concerns and also their objectives of what they're looking to do within that agency, so that we can have a better handle on what is going on moving forward.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah.
We had opposition, we did it all in
Yes.
favor.
Yeah, did we do it? Yes, we did. We not?
We did. We did. We did.
All in favor,
We voted.
one opposed.
Yes.
Do it again. Let's make sure.
No, I'm sure we voted on it because the motion carried and then Supervisor Stats spoke,
Play back the
Supervisor
tape.
Thurston spoke, and then Supervisor Levoni had a question. Yes. boy, must be something with lawyers.
I guess.
I thought the same thing, Rob, so.
I saw you guys talking, like, did we vote on it, and I wanted to make sure we did, so.
Okay, we did. Okay, very good. Okay, a couple of appointments here. Did anybody else have anything they want to bring before the board?
Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman, could you just run through for us what's gonna happen now with the Pine Haven situation? I know we've received some bids.
Received some bids, our controller is scoring them, verifying some information on them. There's going to be a joint meeting of this Pine Haven Subcommittee and the Health and Human Health Committee on the 18th, at which time I'll have copies of the bids for everybody, and the controller will be able to tell us how they scored and how they did. Okay. That's where we are with it. And then afterwards, every one of the bidders is required to make a presentation to the full Board of Supervisors. So I anticipate we'd have a special meeting in December and ask each of them to come in and make a presentation to the Board of Supervisors and the public and answer any questions that we might have.
Mr. Chairman, as sort of the offset to that, when will we see a updated current projection for the cash flow of the Pine Haven facility going alone with whatever concessions the union has made, so we can compare the go-it-alone case to whatever the offer might or may not be?
We just got the other day a refined and more detailed proposal by the union, which we're putting together.
So we'll...
Yes, absolutely. That's part of the fact, that's part of the things to consider. Is there any other comments?
Mr. Chairman, on the Ginsburg project, did CEDC eventually approve that? And then the town again, planning board disapproved that, or they haven't approved it at that point? Obviously, at this point, it has to go through the town again, I realize that, but where were we at with CEDC? And I know there was a question in regards to the letter that you sent, that, as I listened to the video, they were gonna send a letter to everybody in regards to that. Is that just dead in the water at this point
No.
because of the town again, or?
No, it's the CEDC's property, the county, they bought it a number of years ago, it's titled to them.
Okay.
And where we left it with them is that, you know, I wrote a letter and requested the county be made whole, just as every other piece of property in the Commerce Park is sold, the county is made whole for what the investment was on it. And I think there's a lot of factors there. I understand there's also an Article 78 lawsuit that's out there pending, so there's a lot of things going on. Plus, it's in two towns, which is always a difficult proposal when a piece of property is subject to jurisdiction of two planning boards. Any other comments? If not, a couple of appointments for the Columbia County Workforce and for Investment Board is that Carrie Jablonka will serve on the Workforce Investment Board as a commissioner of the Department of Social Services, and Michelle Hublacher will be appointed to the Columbia-Greene Workforce Investment Board to represent the Office for the Aging. The Workforce Investment Board asked to make those transfers and asked that those individuals be appointed, so they're chairman's appointments and they've been appointed. Also, I'd like to invite everybody to Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock, the rededication of the Columbia County Courthouse on Roger Minor. It's a brief ceremony, 20 minutes or half an hour or so in the big courtroom upstairs in deference to the weather. And I hope everybody can be there. Supervisor Basson and I say we only do this every 100 years. So it would be great if everybody could attend. Is there nothing else to bring before the board?
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
just one other question on the budget process. Are we gonna start seeing numbers at some point soon?
Preliminary budget will be filed Monday. And then everybody will get a copy of it. Yes?
Just like to acknowledge that obviously it's Tuesday was Veterans Day. I want to recognize and thank all our veterans serving who have served our country.
Yes, well said. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anything else? If not, motion to adjourn? Second. All in favor? Opposed? So carried. Thank you very much.
I was gonna go skiing in Canada this year, but I got no place to stay.
Yeah, I was going to.